Universal Studios is celebrating 60 years of a world-famous park attraction. So let's talk about the Glam Tram on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter here on That Park Place. Here with me, as always, is the man who knows everything about every theme park, but specifically the West Coast ones, Mr. Vash Sky.
Well, thank you so much for that beautiful introduction there, Jonas. I don't necessarily, I don't have all the knowledge, but I do try, and I try to convey this to you, to the audience. And one of the things that I take a particular interest in is the history of these theme parks, these beautiful, amazing places that we all know and love right here. And Universal is doing a little bit of that with their studio tour, celebrating 60 years this year, starting in 1964, obviously. And when it started out, this was long before the Starway, by the way, it started out with a particular design for its tram vehicles. And indeed, they were they were designed in part by Harper Goff, who did some wonderful productions for that era and some wonderful stuff for Disneyland, interestingly enough. Harper Goff, I believe, was a big influence on the look of Main Street, on the Jungle Cruise specifically. He did the interior for Calamity Jane, and that famous saloon there. And, well, Disney wanted the same exact thing, not knowing that Harper Goff was the interior decorator who actually did that. And sure enough, he got that in the form of the Golden Horses Saloon.
So of course, as a Disney fan, it's almost disappointing to know that these people went off to do other things for other theme park companies, others that we at one point might have called lesser theme park companies. We like to think that they started working for Disney and just continued to work there until they decided to retire and only do Disney Legends Awards after that. But it's good to hear that they have Disney influence over here on these. I love that phrase, glam trams.
The glam trams. It's a beautiful thing right here. You can see they look very particular with those red and white stylings right there, and also those kind of those beautiful tops they have on there. You can see some other photos of what the tram tour actually looked like back in the day, and some of the influential things that we still kind of live with. Also, the Psycho House up there, still a fan favorite. You can see this going down Western Street. Some amazing images of this, but unfortunately, we've never kind of seen these in real life. Well, until today. This is very interesting. They have actually taken 7 of their 22 trams, all of their diesel vehicles, actually, interestingly enough, and have beautified them in order to celebrate the 60th anniversary.
I believe the correct phrase is glamorized.
Glamorized. Oh, I like that. As people were spotting these, and I just think they look absolutely phenomenal. They have just now started taking guests on them. I think these are super. You see Universal Studios Glamour Tram right there on the side. I think this is absolutely phenomenal right here. We've not really seen Universal lean into its history in quite this way. Apparently, also too, team members will also have the 60th logo on their name tags, especially in this area right here, and you can see them in action right here. The entertainment connection right here.
Oh, I love that. This video. That's so cool. That's neat.
It is awesome, right? Interesting to note, I was talking with Theme Park Wizard about this, interestingly enough, and he was saying that, yeah, they're doing 7 of their 22 because the rest of them are actually their electric vehicles. And from what I understand, this might be the last hurrah for these vehicles before being officially retired and the rest of the fleet being converted all to electric, which is part of a kind of a multi-year project. This load-unload station right here that you saw in these previous photographs right here, well, that might actually be coming to a close by the end of this year, because starting this celebration with these glamour trams that you see right here and the 60th anniversary goes from April to August. At the end of August, they might actually be setting up the new load-unload area on the lower lot so that they can eventually retire this load-unload area and make way for more theme park space. So that is very, very interesting indeed.
So they have been doing this for 60 years. It sounds like they're putting a lot of work into upkeeping their legacy.
Right.
And it also sounds like they are looking forward to updating and plussing this part of their theme park legacy.
Absolutely, they have actually refurbished, I believe, the War of the World sets right there, and I believe starting in April they'll have a segment of this tram that will harken back to its early days of 1964 to 1977, where you can actually get off of the tram and actually walk part of the route right there. They're going to be incorporating that aspect of it, which is really, really cool. That's why they did refurbish those War of the World sets. And they also refurbished the earthquake scene that's kind of pulled through right here, which is absolutely fantastic. I don't think that has opened yet, but should have some new effects, some refurbished sets and so forth. This is all phenomenal. I thought this was a really cool story to highlight, and it has some implications for the future as well.
Yeah, I really like it, and this is something that I was generally not on my radar as I grew up in Florida. We're very focused on our alternatives to Disney out there is of course Universal Studios, but also like Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, and SeaWorld and Legoland. If you're really slumming it there, you can keep moving down that list. Gatorland is also fun, but to each their own. The thing that I see here is something that has a lot of legacy attached to it, that there's a lot of care put into it. And when you're not focused on headline chasing, you can do something like this and say, hey, this is what we're bringing back. It's something our fans will love. I love this idea, and part of me wishes I could get out there before these things are retired in order to experience what I'm hoping is the smell of diesel fumes in the air as you go through the tram tour.
Yes. There is a particular smell, particular sound as well, for sure, which has made productions along the route difficult. That's kind of one of the advantages of the electric trams, is that they're a little bit more silent on that aspect, but there's always a nostalgia for these things right here. So I do recommend, if you can, get out here and see it, because it's kind of a shorter celebration. But you can see Universal really does love its history. It obviously sells a lot of merchandise and so forth along those lines. This is, I think it's absolutely phenomenal. The studio tour is so world famous, and it has such an indelible history all its own. Really leading into that, actually back in the day, Disney themselves did with their ride vehicles for the 50th anniversary. They famously took one ride vehicle from an opening day attraction and made it gold. So you had like a golden Jungle Cruise boat, and you had like a golden Mr. Toad's Wild Ride car. It was really, really cool. I love how they're doing something similar in that vein with this.
I love it. I love it. And I would say this is one of the benefits of having the name of your theme park company separated from the name of the giant corporation that owns you. I actually think that Disney trying to be both a giant mega corporation and a theme park company might be why they don't do things like this, where they celebrate their past, because they want to be viewed as someone who is pointing to the future. And a lot of that Disney image is not pointed towards the future. Of course, we always bring them up here like they're the X that we can't get over, because we can't get over them. That being said, I am excited for this over there at Universal Studios. I really wish I could make it out there to do it. So I want to throw this to the audience, though. Do you feel the same? Have you been on this? Are you one of those Florida people that just didn't even know this existed for way too long? Are you going to try to get out there? Are you going to be watching some POV videos out there on some of those channels that do that? Let us know in the comment section down below. Of course, like this video if you like this video, and consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.